How we doing? I'm just sharing this real quick. Sharing the stream. All right. What's going on, party people? All right. How's everyone doing tonight? How did your Sunday go? Mine went well. I have a mess here on my desk. Not. Hello from Australia. Hi, Simone. Australia. How are you handling the lockdowns there? I hear they have everyone quite under almost house arrest. Is that accurate? I don't know. I don't know what to believe anymore, so I don't believe any of it, but how are you doing? Hi, Kara. You're grading essays? I'm sorry. I just wrote up an assessment. And then I got to the portion where I have to write my note, and I was like, yeah, I'm done. I'll do that later. I'll do it tomorrow. Any good essays? What are the essays about? Let's see here. Let's see. It helps if you turn the volume up. I had said hi. I hope you can hear me now. I had said hi, and then I had asked, how are you handling the lockdowns there in Australia? Because from what I heard, they were very strict. And so I was curious if that was true or if that was all just, what do you call it? Hype. You call it hype. You've been procrastinating these essays as long as you can, so now you have to do it, and then I show up and ruin your getting your grading done. You're just getting, most of them are comparing contrasting movies you haven't seen, but instead of compare and contrast, you're just getting plot summaries. That's what grade do you teach? I was terrible at English. I speak English and I'm terrible at English. All right. I have to move some stuff on my desk. Here in Western Australia, we've been good. Still got some lockdowns, but hardly any restrictions here. That's good. That's good. All right. So what is on my desk? A giant pile of stuff that has to be put back together. I'm glad you're not gnashing your teeth. So I had this all separated out. I don't know what this tiny little strand of Byzantine is doing. It probably goes somewhere. I have to take all the findings, right? Like all the connections, like that, off of these, and some of them have been tumbled already and cleaned, and they're good to go. Others have not. And then I get to figure out which ones are which and put them all back together. And I gotta find. You teach college freshman comp. I'm just gonna add them all to the pile and redo all of them. I think that sounds best, instead of trying to figure out what's what. So yeah, we're gonna re-clean all of those. They're mostly pretty shiny. And that's the one thing about getting a tumbler, right? This is a box of all the clasps and connections that were on those that giant pile of necklaces there. And I think I'm just going to toss most of them because they're like Hobby Lobby style clasps. And I've never been a big fan, but they were just kind of what I always used. And frankly, those necklaces deserve better. Alright, my phone needs to be quiet. Alright, so we are continuing on with making a wine bottle wrap. There's a bottle of wine upstairs that is being used for cooking. And it should be done soon, and we'll have a, oh, no, is it dead? What happened to my light? It's very bright. I think it died. Well, all right. We'll figure out something else. Like shining this in my face. This one's fun. Alright, that's not so bad. So we have a bottle, and it's going to be down here, I don't know, someday soon. And we're just going to, let me get this situated correctly, because kind of need light. Alright. You want a tumbler someday? Cheers. Yeah, okay. Let's talk about tumbling for a minute. Aluminum. You're going to put however much aluminum in there, like a third of the container full. Fill it up with water so that the water's just over the top. Couple drops of Dawn. And you're only going to tumble it for like 20 minutes. Then you're going to change out the water. I don't know what happens, but when you tumble it for like an hour, or like I did for like 8 hours, the rings get really gummy from whatever process the ring lord uses to lubricate them as they're cut or something. I don't know. Whatever comes on the wire from the manufacturing process. I don't know what it is, but when you get to that point, right, don't tumble it for too long. Make sure you change out the water fairly often. Because I had a heck of a time cleaning a bunch of aluminum for my coworker's son. And I hope that you avoid my mistakes. So, if I can save you time. You're absolutely welcome. I'm not a tumbler aficionado by any stretch of the imagination, but I do know that particular thing about tumbling. So, and I just recently got my tumbler. It's fairly easy. I think 90% of the stuff I've cleaned has either been, well, no, all of the stuff I've cleaned has either been like some hot water and then some tumbling just to kind of clean it up a little bit. Or hot water, couple drops of Dawn, and like a tablespoon of baking soda. And it's worked out well so far. I've got some sterling I want to clean. And I'm going to dig a little bit deeper into how to clean that. So, alright. Went clothes shopping today for my son. That was fun. We bought the wrong size of clothes for him twice. What he wears from Oshkosh doesn't match up to what he wears from other department stores, so he's got a dress shirt for his little Christmas concert this week. It's got, you know, a nice little red button up with a tie. But the pants that we bought were like 2 sizes too big. So I go back and I get the size that I think he should be. Like initially we bought a size 10. And then those are way too big. So we just kept them because he'll grow into them. And I went back and I bought what I thought would be his size. I think it was a size 6 or something. And I bring them home, and of course they're way too small. So I don't do clothes or understand sizing well. You know, I sell clothes with sizing charts, and they're pretty accurate. But these the children's clothes I was looking at definitely were not. Hey, let's start a live stream and then cough the whole time. That seems like a good idea. All right. What is today? Today is the 29th. I think I have a package arriving with a camera and a microphone tomorrow. So I'm kind of excited about that. So hopefully by next weekend, our setup will look a little bit different. All right. So Cara, how long have you been making chainmail? If you don't mind me asking. You know, there's a lot of new people. There's a lot of people who've been doing it for a while. Let's see here. Nope, we're still good. Okay. So what else is going on this week? Got kids' Christmas concert. Got work. That's mostly it, really. I don't think it's too busy of a week. Our Christmas tree is up. Our Christmas lights are up, you know. The house is decorated to my satisfaction since around 2009. Okay, so you've been doing it for a while. Okay. You're not new. You should definitely invest in a tumbler. I have a Franklin Arsenal rotary tumbler. And it's made for tumbling brass ammo casings for people to reload. But it works really well for chainmail. And I think it's from Midway, which is a manufacturing company here in the States. They make a lot of different stuff. And I think it cost me, call yourself advanced intermediate skill. Yeah. That's probably about where I'm at. So I think I got mine for about $100, and it really changed the way my rings look. So I was quite happy with that purchase. Oh, someone's running around upstairs. I can hear him. An advanced intermediate mailer. I don't really want to get into coiling and cutting, but I need TRL stuff to be better, so I need to tumble it. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Right. I wrote an article on my blog about like how to start making chainmail, and I went through all the pros and cons of coiling and cutting your own rings and getting that whole setup done. I'm nowhere near the point where I need specific sizes of rings in small enough quantities that coiling and cutting it myself would make sense. So I have no intention at the moment of setting that up. Maybe one day. But, I have no desire to get into selling chainmail supplies either. Right? Unless, here's the only way I'd start selling chainmail supplies is do you know exactly when you need weird sizes, you can call Josh, right? And hit him up, which is what I would do if I needed a weird size, but I haven't needed a weird size. Um, if I found a source for unobtainium, right? You know, like what's the word I'm thinking of? The space rock that goes around asteroids, right? Okay. I know words. So if I could get like asteroid metal in a wire, right? Like I don't want to do any of the other processing, but if I could get it for, cheap and flip it and make a profit, then I might get into coiling, cutting my own rings. But that is the only way that is going to happen. And even with that, I'd probably call someone like Josh and be like, hey, here's this wire. Would you like to buy it for 2,000% space rock markup? One of the things that I've often said is that someone could make a fortune making really specific clasps for chainmail ring sizes and weaves. And so if I ever got the opportunity to do that, maybe I'd start selling chainmail supplies. But only then. Yeah, I know what you mean. For someone who can do something unusual, it's worthwhile. Right. Yes, like Eric Whitney's black titanium. I want to get my hands on some of that. I think I'm actually going to sit down and buy some rings. I wasn't going to, but I want to play with some stuff, that everybody else is doing. Like stainless steel is fun, I like it. But there's other stuff that's not as monotone. Come on, ring. Doesn't want to be grabbed. Gotcha. That ring wanted to fight me. You love the black tie. He tumbles them until they're so silky. They feel better to wear than anything else. That's awesome. I want to try it. I do. Excuse me. All right. Usually when you wear bracelets, I'm taking them off all the time because they bother me, but I forget I'm wearing the black titanium. That's nice. That's a nice change. You know? I used to wear a lot of chainmail stuff all the time. But being a nurse and having to take it off and on, washing my hands all day long, it became a pain in the ass. I was just like, I only wear it, whoa, if I'm going out, which is never. So I almost never wear anything anymore. But I have, like I'll go out for a motorcycle ride and I've got my chainmail vest that I wear. And then of course I wear MailleWerX stuff all the time, which is nice. Because I can wear like a chainmail themed hoodie and be showing off, what, not just, okay, not just showing off like MailleWerX products, but, sometimes people ask, what are you wearing? And then I get to tell them about chainmail until their ears bleed. What is this thing called going out? Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I don't mind not going out. Before the pandemic started, I used to take my son and the neighbor kid to the theater. Oh, I don't have a bag in that trash can. We'll just have to set that ring aside. And we go to the theater, play some video games, eat some popcorn, watch a movie. Spend 3-4 hours out of the house. And I was doing it because it was wintertime and there was nothing else to do except, go outside and freeze your ass off up here. So, but that ended in March, as well as everything else. So, and I haven't really minded. I don't mind not going out because all my stuff is here and this is where I want to be 99% of the time. But, change of scenery is nice. I feel bad for my kid who's been stuck inside for months now. He keeps asking if people can come over and it's like, sorry, buddy. All right. I just think it's awesome. I got to, jump on stream early tonight. My kid can stay up because he doesn't have school tomorrow. And so I don't really have to put him to bed until 10, and I think Renee's going to actually put him to bed, so kind of a free night to just sit down here and make chainmail for 2 hours or so. Sometimes I miss concerts and movies and never went to many, but it'd be nice to have the option. I don't mind being at home per se, though. Yeah. I have, if I lived in a smaller house, it would be problematic, I think. Because I have a very big house, and it's got room. Like, it's not enormous. It's not a mansion or anything, but it is big. And so we've got room to, like, move about. We're not cooped up necessarily. So if we need, like, time away from each other, we can just go to a different part of the house, we don't have to leave. So, and I think that, that definitely helps with me being able to cope with being locked down. So I think if I was in the house that I grew up in or something, which most of the time was trailers and a couple of small houses, I'd probably lose my mind. But also, I was stuck with my brother and sisters at that time, so there was never enough room to get away from anybody in those places. Or if I was stuck in the barracks in the military. Yeah, if I was in a studio apartment. I've often talked about that, moving into moving onto a sailboat and just sailing away, But then I quickly come to realize that Renee and I would probably kill each other fairly quickly when confined to such a small space. And also, I don't sail, so that would be bad. I mean, ideally, if that was the plan, we would go and learn to sail. But yeah, being stuck that close together would probably be pretty detrimental to our relationship. Sailing is difficult to learn, is it? I mean, I don't underestimate that, how to put this. I don't think I underestimate its difficulty. Like, I definitely don't think it's something I could just go and do, right? I would definitely want a course and some experience under my belt. You remember trying to learn at camp? You always had to get out and get paddles and row back. Yeah, I'd definitely start there. But I think it's something I could learn to do, I think. I don't know. It's a really bad idea though. Because I'm not afraid of water, but I'm not a big fan. Like, I don't like being wet all the time. So I don't know why I have this idea in my head that one day I'm just gonna pack up everything and hop on a sailboat and sail away. You know, after getting proper instruction, of course. Because it's like it'd be 180 degrees from hey Samantha, how you doing? It'd be 180-degree turnaround from, you know, how I live right now. So I just have it in the back of my head that one day I'm just gonna be on a sailboat sailing out the Great Lakes to the Atlantic and then down to the Caribbean and then stay there for the winter. And then when the hurricanes start coming back up, I'll sail back up the coast and come home for the summer. I think this is one of those, you know, if I am ever a multimillionaire, then I will pursue that option. All right, give you a motorboat any day. Wouldn't mind having a houseboat. All right, what happened here? Okay. Give me a motorboat any day. I wouldn't mind having a houseboat and wandering the coast and waterways. Yeah, if marina fees weren't so ungodly. Yeah, exactly. You know, it's the decision was a sailboat because you don't need to gas it up, right? I mean, you do a little bit, but good. Just made a nice ornament working on a matching opposing color scheme. Nice. There have been some really cool ornaments this year. What was that? So, and of course the MailleWerX Christmas contest. So hopefully we'll see some really cool ornaments from that too. But who was it? Mel Purcell came up with the Nevicata design. I thought that was pretty awesome. If I had unlimited access to fuel and money were no option, then yeah, like, you know, a big luxury yacht would probably be much more my style. I think that is cost is definitely a deterrent to making that a reality at all. So I think that's why I went with sailboat. Maybe by the time I grow up, they'll have like really cheap nuclear powered yachts that run for forever and I can just go live out on the ocean, but you know, stay inside all the time because I don't like the water. I should probably figure out another plan for my millions of dollars one day. Because this whole, like, I don't mind water. You're about to post in the groups too, and Mel's designs are awesome. Yeah. I don't mind water. I just, you know, I'm not going to go out of my way to get into water, which isn't fair to my kid. So, because we're 2 miles from Lake Michigan here, and you know, he wants to go and play in the freezing cold water of the lake, and I have no desire to go at all. But next year, I think we're gonna try and get out more, just because we've been, you know, stuck here. I think that's everybody's goal. Get out more. At least I hope that's everybody's goal. Yeah, Mel's designs are awesome. That is true. It was one of those, I knew of her designs before I ever met her. You know, there's a couple people that are like that. Like I've seen their work long before I ever set eyes on them. I think that's pretty standard. You know, you find out what someone did, then you meet them. I think it's pretty normal. I'm going to tell her we've been bragging on her in the stream. That's fine. She not feeling too well today? Yeah, she's got a lot of chronic pain issues. I hope she finds relief soon, because that would really make her day. There's a lot of people with that make chainmail that have serious health issues. I'm sure it's that way in every, every group, right? But it's definitely been interesting getting to know people and then finding out, oh, they also have this issue. And it's like, oh, you live with that, and then you also get this much done. That's amazing. All right, come on, ring. Nope, there we go. So I was at my brother-in-law's house last month, and he had a 1,000-gallon fish tank in his basement, and he's kept things like stingrays and stuff in there. And now, I guess that tank developed a leak, and so he sold off all his fish. He's got a couple people holding some fish for him, and he's got a few left in other tanks around the house. But now he's working on a much larger fish tank that is 2,000 some odd gallons. He was telling me over the phone about it the other day, and I cannot wait to go over there and see it. Because I had never seen like freshwater stingrays before. It's got a bunch of lake fish in there. It was all, the one he had was all lit up at night and everything. You could just sit there and watch the fish swim around. And it's, I don't know any other fish people that are as big into it as he is, but I mean, he runs in that circle, right? So he knows a lot of them. Yeah, holy cow was right. You have a 75-gallon and trying to keep it clean is more than you can handle. Yeah, I think we have like a 5-gallon tank. I don't know how big it is, but whatever fish we had in there passed away, and we haven't done anything else with it. Yeah, he's got the one at the house, and it's plumbed into his house, right? And built into the wall. And so, like, it's not like if he ever moves, he's going to be able to take it with him. He'd have to tear it all down and, I don't know, maybe leave it. Whoever buys the house next is hopefully a fish lover. He's got that one, and then he's got like a $500 500-gallon tank at his work. He runs an auto body shop. But I'm looking forward to going over there once everybody's done being sick. All right. I was when I first saw it, I was really just, pretty blown away at the size of fish tank he had in his house, much less, like it's a freshwater tank with some big old fish in there. I don't know any of their names, but they were all, really unique looking freshwater fish. I was like, oh, that's cool. And that row's done. Oh, where are we at? Yeah, that would be a major selling point for a fish lover. Oh, just trying to look at this, making sure I've done it right. Have a look-see. Isn't it pretty? Can't really see much of it in this light. More lights, more internet, and more cameras. Soon. One day. Hopefully sales will pick up tomorrow. Like I've done okay this weekend. I'm pretty happy with my Black Friday, Cyber Monday sale. But it's only paying for itself, really, right? It's not like I made a bunch of profit off of anything. It's really only gone to pay for the last couple of slow months. So hopefully it'll pick up tomorrow. Because I could use some profits to buy cameras. And then, yeah, very nice. Very nice. Thank you. As long as MailleWerX pays for itself, I'm okay with continuing to do it, right? And then in 10 years, I'll be an overnight success. So I'm happy about that, with just breaking even with it. I'm not going to do much designing for the rest of the year because my goal is to really pick it up a notch in January and just put out new designs, right? So new weaves, different colors, stuff like that. Because I've kind of got this. I have this X number of designs I've done, and you can find them on every product that I have available, right? But I'd much rather have a design focused on the product itself, right? Like what design looks best for this product, We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, hope that the pandemic ending, will help me out. Right now, I can't justify buying any clothing items because you just don't go anywhere. No, not only that, right? No, wait, okay. The pandemic is probably one of my bigger issues, right? Because 90% of the people on my Facebook page, right? They're the only people I advertise to. And my advertisements are me getting on here talking about chainmail and posting to Facebook and Instagram and every other social media platform that I'm on, right? So because of that, because of the pandemic, all of their shows and events and the methods in which they make money have not happened. Right? So I'm trying not to judge this year based on anything. I'm trying not to judge this year too harshly. Right? Just because the bulk of the people that I think would like my stuff have no money because there's no opportunity for them to make anything. You like the leggings with the inlay designs in them? I will work on more of those. No, I have not. I have not had a chance to sit down and work on that design. I should probably, you know what I'll do? Here's what I'll do. I'll set it up tonight before I go back upstairs, and then I will try and have it for you tomorrow in the evening. And that way you will have it. Yes, everybody's got a crafty business is suffering this year. Yeah, it sucks. It sucks when, like, okay. They all have predominantly offline businesses, right? Some of them do well on Etsy. I don't, that's what they say, right? But for the most part, most of them are selling face to face, and they're busting their butts going out every weekend, setting up their booths, and basically, making money on the weekends. Now, that is something I was going to try and do earlier this year, but there has not been an event near me, and I have not had the opportunity to do so. Do you need it by your birthday? Because it's not going to be there by the 14th. So they were all going out, doing business face to face, and I was going to try and get into that this year. There just hasn't been any events near me, right? So that's been kind of irritating. But then the one event that I'm trying to get to, all the way down in Florida, that they're still you're not. Oh, okay. Sorry, someone just made a very large order from me, which was very nice. So that was nice. All right. No, okay. You're just being cheeky. Okay. Yeah, I'll set it up tonight when I'm done here, and then have it ready for you by tomorrow. You're not going, and it's going to be the last one. Yeah, I'm not surprised by that. The amount of stress that the coordinators have been under, to set it up and get it going and get all the information out about it and everything. And then to have the pandemic hit and continue, throughout the year to the point where all the people that they wanted to show up can't go, right? And then people, say COVID ended tomorrow, people who would have gone but didn't make the money this year to have the travel money, now they can't go either. So I'm not surprised that you're telling me it's the last one. That sucks, but I would not want to be either of those two or three, however many people they have. I think it's Heidi and Kaylee. And it's like they tried, and I thought they did a good job. But I would not have wanted to tackle that in the first place, much less, in a year like this. Doing a convention is not easy. Yeah, it won't. Someone will pick up the torch and carry on. It won't be the last one. It'll just be the last chain link up. The one under that name. Someone else will put on a big gathering somewhere. There's already talk of one in Minnesota. Hopefully, I'm going to have a bunch of people over to my house next summer. There's a bunch of mailers in like Michigan, Wisconsin, and Minnesota, a couple in Illinois, all within like 4 hours, I think, right? I don't know how far away Minnesota is, but they're not terribly far, right? They could come out for a day, maybe, day and a half. So, and it would just be, we'll have some food that you can eat if you want. If you need something else, there's restaurants nearby. If you want to stay, hang out the next day, there's apartments for rent. Yeah, come move here. There's hotels nearby, Just something simple. I could probably fit I could do 20 people easy, right? Yeah, 10 people in the basement, 10 people on the main floor. If we spread out to the garage and outside, maybe another 10 or 15, right? 30, 40 people come hang out. That'd be fun. I was going to do it this year, but, that didn't pan out. You want to see what I'm working on? So just looking at my smiling face. I mean, I'm still working on the same thing I've been working on, but oh, there's something else I was going to mention, and I just thought about mentioning it, and now I remember thinking about mentioning it, but I don't remember what it was. That's always so much fun. All right. The things I got to do this next week, I got to finish uploading products to my Etsy store, make sure they got all the right tags on them and whatnot. I got to, what else? I got to work on the app. The app should have been done. Right? I just did not get a chance to finish it. It's almost done. I've talked about it for way too long now. It needs to be done. We'll put out the first little version, we'll get some feedback, and then make some changes or updates and send out an update. And then whenever someone has, a question, You know, say you're like working in the park and be like, oh yeah, what's the how did you learn how to do that? You can take them straight to, you know, just tell them, go download the MailleWerX app. It'll tell you everything you need to know. And then they'll have all the resources they need right there. And then hopefully they'll, you know, buy some stuff to help support the store and the app and the chainmail community. I think it's going to be good. I like the way it looks. So Etsy store and app. Gotta finish loading videos up to the YouTube channel. Oh, I just heard my laundry go off. If you hear bells, that's my dryer telling me my laundry is done. I don't know if I doubt that the microphone on my computer is loud enough to pick that up, but all right, do either of you guys follow Dr. T? Did you see his new shirt? I still have to take a closer look at it. The thing is amazing. I'm quite jealous of his skill and ingenuity. But he's like super smart, ridiculously smart. He's an engineer of some kind, I think. Right, like I think he has a doctorate in engineering. That's why he's doctor, and then his last name is some unpronounceable name. You know, it's one of those names that if you read, yeah, it's insanely intricate. It is. It's like, holy crap, dude. It's one of those names that if I read it in the comments section over here, I'd be like, yeah, I don't know how to say that. Yeah, it's intricate and it's got like stars on the front. Well, I'll just weave in a little star over here. We should have included a picture of the underarms. Shall we manage to reconcile the pattern there? Me too. Underarms are never fun. I have a chainmail vest that is attached to leather, right, for riding in. And so I didn't have to worry about underarms. And then I have a sleeveless shirt, so I didn't have to worry about underarms. And then I have a Trinity shirt made out of stainless square wire rings. And the rings are 18 gauge 3/16. And then I have the 16 gauge 1/4 inch European 4-in-1 shirt with half sleeves. The Trinity shirt was by far my most successful. It's relatively comfortable to wear. You can wear it for long periods of time. It fits, you know, like a chainmail, like a hoodie, right? The 16 gauge 1/4 inch European 4-in-1 shirt is not as easy to wear. It's a lot heavier. And Not as successful as the Trinity shirt. It was essentially a chainmail quilt in shirt form. Dr. T shirt, yeah. It's cool. Speaking of chainmail quilts, have either of you ever submitted a patch for the chainmail quilt? I've been keen to talk to Jen about that. That's one of those maybe one day things. You have yet to attempt a shirt. You did a coif though. I did a coif out of aluminum for a buddy of mine. He requested it. I don't know how well it held up over the years, but I haven't been called with any complaints to fix it, so I didn't want to make it out of aluminum, but he didn't want to deal with the weight, and I was like, all right, I'll take your money for whatever you want me to do. It was cool. What method did you use? Did you use contractures? Is that what they're called? Contractions? Contractures are when you have, like, can't move. I should know that. I am a nurse. Did you use the contraction method or did you use the seam method? I didn't figure it was well enough known to be wanted as a participant with the chainmail quilt, and I didn't know that I could come up with a patch that would be worthy. Sure. I can appreciate that. Though, you know, you are probably more talented than you realize. I think it's good that you have a talk about your skill level, before attempting something like that. But, you could probably do it. You did top down, so you only did expansions. You didn't seam. Okay. Yeah, expansions, not contractions. Contractions are what you get when you're having a baby. Contractures are what happens when you don't move for a long time and your hands get all bent. And expansions are what you use in chainmail. I'm just throwing random words out there. No context. Not sure that I'm happy with the expansions I improvise. They make the grain look a bit ragged. Yeah, they'll do that. And so I use seams in everything. I don't know how, like, my brain doesn't function at a capacity where I can understand how contraction works, right? And also make it look good. I know Fong did like a tutorial on how to do a contraction, but I think it requires 2 ring sizes. And I have never attempted it. But I bet it would be cool looking to do it his way, right? Because otherwise, I like seams, and they have always worked far better for me. All right, one more row added. There you go. Climbing our way up the bottle here. We don't know if we're long enough yet, but hey, who cares? It's all just guesswork right now. You knew what I meant. That's what's important. Yep, as long as we're communicating. As long as we're communicating. That is what is important. Words, what are they and how to use them? That, is a book title that will never be written by me. Oh, I want to see something. All right, I checked my light. I was like, maybe it reset itself or something, but no, it's dead. So I gotta put more batteries in it. It's very bright, and so like the idea that it just sucked down the battery life of fresh new batteries in like the 5 minutes it was on is not surprising. But I don't know how fresh or new those batteries were in that light, so maybe some new batteries will get me going. If words were easy, you wouldn't have a job. Yeah, there's a good reason for words to be hard. So that someone better at them can teach us how to use them. Oh, God. We're going to see if I can go for at least another 30 minutes. Right? With Josh, I guess he streamed like 7 hours yesterday, which is nuts. I couldn't imagine doing that. And then I was like, I got done after an hour last night. I was like, oh, yeah. An hour's good. And I got some free time tonight, so maybe we will go a little bit longer. Got to do the old stretch. Stretch a Rooney. So you've done a coif. What else have you made, Kara? Just out of curiosity. Yeah, you think they were all tired? Yeah. Yep, he got on. He was on for a little bit, and then I lost him. His stream popped off, and then I got stuck putting up Christmas stuff in the house, so I wasn't able to get back on for several hours. And then when I got back on, I thought I was, the I thought I was watching a replay at first. You wish he had more people watching his streams, especially people who aren't makers. He would sell more finished product in a sales stream to people who don't make their own, I think. I absolutely agree with you. And, I don't know how he promotes his stuff. I don't know how many Facebook friends he has. I don't know how many people are on his Facebook page. Right? But right now, like Facebook is just throttling all of my posts. Right? Like one or two people see them. So and I think that's because they don't want people making money off of Facebook without, paying for advertisement. So it's like, yeah, start a business page on Facebook. Oh, we're going to make it difficult for you to reach your audience, right? And that is why I'm making an app for my business so that I don't have to deal with that. I can just use the app to maintain contact with my audience and create a culture off of Facebook, right? Because I don't want to pay Facebook money. I don't want to, I don't want to leave per se. The coif is your only large armor piece. You make a lot of jewelry. Large pieces include headdresses with drapes down the back, incorporating beads and mail, but you do a lot of earrings, necklaces, and bracelets. Okay. Facebook's limits the hell out of who sees your stuff. Yeah. Like if I had to redo it, right? And I might start this up next year, is just start another chainmail group on Facebook. Right? I hate to do it because there's already 3 or 4 out there. It's like, why start another one? And it's because Facebook throttles the reach of business pages far more than it does group pages, right? And it's easier to maintain contact with the people in your audience through a group than it is through a Facebook page. So I might do that next year. I did start a hangout group, right? But that never went anywhere. So maybe I'll just keep going with that group. But I don't know, kind of seems disingenuous to have a group for hanging out and then like promote all my stuff in there, right? So I don't know. Maybe I'll just make a dedicated group for the MailleWerX page. I should probably do that now that I think about it. And then point people towards the app where we will have a place for people to share pictures and comment on stuff, and it'll be fun. What is a trivet? Made trivets out of sheet weaves. What is a trivet? Nothing pops up when I search it on Google. Hi, Dory. How are you? I feel like I just talked to you. Sure, there's something you rest a hot pot. Okay, that would explain some of the Google images. Okay. I think here in the States we call it a hot pad. You know, put the hot pad down on the counter so I can put the pan down or the pot down or whatever. I don't know if we have trivets here in the States. Keep from scorching your table or tablecloth? Yeah. Yeah, that sounds like stuff that is in that would be in a kitchen. And I don't know much about that stuff. Renee was she was explaining to me how she was making broth, and she called it some French word, macon, something. And I was like, what's that? A trivet is more rigid than a hot pad, which you can use to grip handles with. And you have them in New York and New Jersey. I'm sure we have them here. I just, I'm generally bad at kitchen stuff. So Renee told me the French name of this base broth, right? And I was like, oh, what's that? And she's like, it's a broth with celery, carrots, and onions in it. I'm like, so why didn't they just say it's a broth with celery, carrots, and onions in it instead of this word I'd never heard before? Anyway, she got mad at me for not knowing what it was. But yeah, when it comes to things that have to do with cooking and whatnot, I'm lost and clueless. Someone gave me a recipe for macaroni the other day and said, use a double boiler. I was like, what's a double boiler? I've heard of them. I have no idea what it is. I can do some minimal cooking. I'm just, terrible at it. Like I wouldn't starve if I was if it was just me. I don't think my kid would starve if it was just me and him. But, thank the Lord we have Renee who cooks really good food and likes doing it, and she makes excellent meals for us. All right. All right. Okay, I gotta stretch out my back. How far have we gotten here? Don't know how far we've gotten, don't know how far we have to go. But we're getting somewhere. You lost me there for a minute? Okay. I was just mentioning how I'm a terrible cook, and, thank God we have Renee to make good meals for us. Otherwise, me and my son would eat lots of macaroni, more so than we do already. So I don't know how much wider I want to make this without having a bottle down here to look at. Right? Because, like, I want to have a strap above and then a strap down near the bottom of another weave of some leather, right? And then we'll do the top in this E4 one too. Macaroni's your go-to meal too? Yep, it's quick, it's easy, and after really long days at work, I can still manage to cook it most of the time without messing it up. So the bottle will have, this will go over the main body, right? At the top and the bottom, there's going to be a different weave and leather straps to carry it with. And then the Euro 4-in-1 again at the top, right? So what we need to figure out is how much space do we need for the second weave we're going to use, and the leather on top and bottom for the whole bottle. I don't think we're there quite yet, but I think we're getting there. We'll be there sooner rather than later, I think. Dog meds time. That sounds fun. All right. One of my dogs takes meds. She gets gabapentin because she's old and has hip pain. She has trouble going up and down the stairs. So my other dog, he likes to get yeast infections in his ears because they're long, floppy ears. So when he starts scratching them at him constantly, it's time to, we just call the vet and be like, yeah, can you refill this? I forget what the medication is for his ears. And give that to him for a couple days. I have a Weimaraner mix. She's the old one. Her name is Katie. She was named by two little girls that had her before we got her. She was 2 when we got her, and I think she's 14, 13. Ah, that wasn't good. There we go. So, and then the other dog we have is a little Chihuahua mix off the streets of San Antonio. Renee saw him almost get run over and went and picked him up and brought him home because she could not stand to see him. She couldn't stand the thought of leaving him there, which is all right. He's a good dog. He only ever chewed up one slipper and some corners of my trim on the wall, but that's been it. Other than that, he's a good dog. Katie is not a good dog. Well, she is a good dog, but she's also quite the counter surfer. So don't leave your food out, because she will get to it every time. Gets Veterol, which is scary stuff that can shut down. Your hands aren't careful. Ooh. You have to split pills, which is not recommended by the manufacturer. You wind up looking like a drug lord cutting cocaine. Nice. Yeah. Can shut down your adrenal gland. Jeez Louise. Yeah, I mean, I've been around some dangerous drugs before. Like chemo's dangerous, radiation is dangerous, and they all have to be handled very well. If you get exposed to chemotherapy, man or woman, right? If you have a exposure to the drug, it can make you sterile. So it can it can make you sterile. It can give you cancer, which seems odd. It can cause organ failure. So, I know how you feel, I think. It never gave me any real anxiety, because at the time I was in my 20s, young, dumb, bulletproof, thought I was immortal, so I did all kinds of stupid stuff. And, and it never, I don't know, it never crossed my mind that, that's not the right word. It never bothered me that I was working with dangerous drugs, right? As opposed to today, if I was to go back and work in hematology oncology, I don't know if I'd want to be handling those drugs, to be quite honest. I think at this point in my life, I'd rather not. $126. Yeah, all right. I think we're going to be finishing up this row here pretty soon. Oh, I hear little feet running up and down upstairs, stomping around the house. Which is good. I think he's gotta get a shower in tonight. It sounds like that's what they're going to go do. When you're in the basement, you can't ever really tell what people are doing upstairs. Only guess. All right. How many rows did we add tonight? I don't know how many we started with. I think I know. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4 rows. We'll have to figure out how many rings per row that is. We'll do that in a second. I'm just curious how many rings we just did in an hour and a half. Kind of gauge how fast I'm weaving. Because I don't want to be fast, necessarily. I want to be thorough, good closures, rings are woven through correctly, that sort of stuff. But also, being speedy is nice. All right. We've got a lot of stuff lined up in the next couple weeks. Some inlays, some jewelry, some leather work. A lot of fun stuff. And hopefully we'll be able to get to it all. I'm hoping. And then, of course, more internet, more lights, more cameras. That'll be nice too. All right. last ring on this row, then we'll count them up real quick. And it's an hour 31 on the money. All right. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 28, 29, 30, 22, 23, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46. So that's almost sure. 6, 7, 8. So 46 times 8. 368 rings tonight in an hour and a half. You wouldn't divide that by 1.5. You divide it by 90, that's 4 rings a minute. All right. We're 1 ring every 15 seconds. Wear rubber gloves and use 3 pieces of parchment paper. After I open the capsule, cut into roughly 3 and fold each dose up in its paper like a BC headache powder. They go into a baggie, and the dose for the night goes into the pill pocket. And I have to wash everything the drug may have touched. That sounds tedious. All right. Okay. This is where we're at. We're about a little over twice as wide as we were when we started. All right. That's looking good. Right? It's going to look good when it's done. It'll be nice. Right? We'll take that and we'll find a bottle to put it on and get the leather, figure out how we're going to do the straps, which I still have to look into. But I tell you what, as I mentioned previously, we should get some equipment in the next day or so, and I'll try and figure out how to set it up this week. So we might have a midweek stream where we test it all out, and then next weekend we'll probably do Friday, Saturday, Sunday again. I don't know if that is going to go up or down. We'll see how work goes and stuff. I know that people need human interaction especially during the holiday times and after all this pandemic and stuff. So I appreciate you guys coming and hanging out with me and chatting with me. It's been a lot of fun. All right. As always, go to MailleWerX.com for all your chainmail needs, all your chainmail apparel and accessory needs. And with that, I am going to say goodnight, and I will see you guys next, probably sometime this week, but later on next weekend. All right. So you guys have a good night. Bye.